bridge that commentary.
Yes,
Go ahead, brother Genie. Well, I'll tell you this, Peter, and everybody else. The effeminization of the black male was prognosticated by Neely Fuller in the 70s. I know some of y'all are thinking in here, this is going too far, like y'all always say when we do Face and Love. Y'all are looking into it too deep. Y'all are looking into it too far. Neely Fuller told us this was going to happen. Neely Fuller told us this was going to happen in the 70s. So here he is again. Here's another Neely Fuller type telling us what's going on now and breaking it all down for us. Brother Genie, go right ahead.
Yeah, the brother asked an excellent question about entertainment. This is what we did. Let me tell a quick, y'all might want to tell a story. I get a little long-winded, so make a landing because I can talk. But as it relates to what he's talking about, I went to Concord Academy. The individuals who run the media are white so-called Jews. They call themselves Jews, Ashkenazis, people that know. The thing is, I went to school with them and did not realize it. And I took a course in the school called Subliminal Methods. Coming from Soufeese, I did not have any idea of this stuff, and I was kind of a jerk. So in the class, they had showed something. I totally didn't get what's going on, and I was being a typical jerk self. And one of the white guys, Jewish guys, got real upset and started letting me in on it. And he said, well, see, while you thinking this was really going on. And they showed me what happened. And it was like the first time I really got super humbled in that environment. Because I said, whoa, wait a minute. I'm looking at this seeing one thing, but they're seeing something totally different because they're making it.
That's right.
Through that process, then reading Dale Jones, Culture Bandits 1 and 2, then reading Dr. Francis Chris Welsing's, and then studying on my own and having gone to that school, I began to research and be able to see step by step exactly the intellectual psychological process of media taking a person's mind and taking them from one place to an entire different place. But this is the problem. When you try to explain something that's sophisticated, you sound like a quack and a weirdo to average black people. So it was years in the making, but this is one of my most proud products because I learned from the people that do it, or the individuals that do it. They're evil, but I learned from them not knowing what I learned. So I was able to put a 3-part series together and not talk to you about it, show you every step of the way how images are created, who did it, what they believe, why they're creating it, and they are the ones in here telling you what they're doing. And then the things they won't tell you, I've been able to figure out and break it down step by step. Why is it so important? Honestly, the most dangerous psychological weapon in the history of the world is the modern media.
That's right.
You can take a civilized, normal, everyday person and through the process of this media, turn them into an absolute savage.
That's right.
By taking and capturing their minds.
That's right.
So to answer your question, what they were not able to do with the Atlantic slave trade, they have been able to do with media. Because we don't see them coming. They come into our mind, introduce new ideas designed to destroy us, and we can't defend ourselves against it. However, I'm guaranteeing you, just like I told you before, if you get this, even a 5-year-old, most of the black parents that tell us that they've watched this with their children, everyone that we talked to said their child's television consumption has decreased. More of them, the same amount have told us that they like to read more in it because once you know what you're getting, you don't want it no more. It don't feel the same. Once you look at that slave ship and see that nakedness and what it really means, you don't get the same thrill out of going to a strip club as a man. Maybe you can go the first week, maybe you go the second week, but eventually you get to a point going, why is she up there? She don't have to do this. It's my sister. And you see the white boy come out the back and make sure he says, man, this is a set. And eventually it gets out of your system. So my point being, media is absolutely critical because if we understand it, last thing I'll say on it, this is the beautiful thing about media. It's devastating to the person that doesn't know. But the same damage they do for the person that doesn't know, once you make a person aware of what's happening, it has the exact reverse effect. Because now they're watching this group of people attack them and you get upset. So all you got to do is be able to show a black person what they're getting in a way that they can understand it, and then media no longer has the impact.
That's right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Brother Mark.
Good afternoon. My comment and question. First of all, congratulations on being banned. It means you're doing something right. Are you aware that I found this out by listening to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, that the CIA under the Clinton administration developed a gay bomb? And you could speak on that, but my question also is, what is your opinion on the alleged so-called terrorist group, ISIS?
Okay. The gay bomb, let me tell everybody what that was. It was in 1990, I think it was 94. It was in the 90s. The Wright Patterson, the Pentagon said, look, we want to create a weapon that is a chemical weapon, that if you drop these chemicals on people, that it will make them hypersexual. And since men that we're fighting are in warfare, they're in close proximity to each other, there's only men around, if we make them hypersexual, then they'll start having sex with each other. And they said they wanted to create a weapon that would demoralize enemy combatants. Let me say it again. Demoralize. Remove the morals and make them into homosexuals. So what they did, they created it. And what they did is they took the chemicals. And like when brothers go to prison, the chemicals that are put in the food make males hypersexual. And of course, in a prison environment, you're only around other black males, so they do it. Or, if you remember, they went to Abu Ghraib and they went to Iraq. And you saw those pictures of them putting men in poses. Why? They were testing the chemicals. But if you're giving people these chemicals and you don't introduce them to the idea of homosexuality, they won't know what to do. They're just men that's hypersexual, but they don't know what to do because they haven't been introduced to homosexuality. So what they do is they force the men into homosexual roles and acts and use the chemicals and test it to see what will happen. And what happened? They have a crisis of sexual abuse, child molestation, and homosexuality in Iraq today from the very things you saw there. If you go back and look, very recently they came out with the video where the U.S. soldiers were forcing Iraqi women to watch as they rape their sons. This is U.S. documents that is out now that are public, that they're trying to keep from going out, but they've announced, yes, this did happen. And so that's what the gay bomb was about, chemical warfare. And my opinion on ISIS, I will say this. I don't actually know, and I don't like to speak about things I don't know. This is what I will say. If you study Zionism, we have another video over there, I think they're all gone now, but it's called The Secret Relationship Between Black Leaders and Small Hats. There's nothing more important to study than the white so-called Jew. Right. If you understand them, you understand the proverbial white supremacists. Well, who's running the show that Dr. Francis Cress Welsing and Neely Fuller talk about. And what they do, they operate different than the average white. The average whites, they don't like you, they come call you the N-word, and they want to fight you. They're just brutal and direct. The white so-called Jew is very sophisticated. He presents himself as your friend, then he presents himself as the friend of the Anglo-Saxon. He makes both parties fight. He exploits both parties. And then he puts himself in a position to be hidden so that neither party can see him. But he represents both parties fighting against each other while he exploits everyone. So the white so-called Jew is to the white Anglo-Saxon what the white race is to black people. In other words, the white so-called Jew sees themselves as superior to everybody. And they subject whites to oppression just like they do black people. So the white Anglo-Saxon doesn't like the Jew because he doesn't agree with white supremacy. He only agrees with Jewish supremacy over white, black, and everybody else. None of them like us, though. So my point, how does that relate to ISIS? If we're talking about ISIS, it's difficult to know what's going on. Because unless you are in the know, the white so-called Jews put whatever they want you to believe on TV. And until you get the background story and find out who created ISIS, do they really exist? Are these Arabs or are these really Israelis? You really don't know. So I don't know the answer because I don't know the real background story of it. Okay. I do know that the white so-called Jews are behind it, though. That's what I know for sure.
Absolutely. You know, like carbon there and everything.